What only exists because humans are dumb? This is for external use only. Puts Clorox container down. Do not eat contents on a claymore mine. World War II, or maybe Vietnam, soldiers actually did eat bits of C4 occasionally because it would give them symptoms mimicking that of a flu, which they'd use to get out of combat. Warnings on hammers saying this object can cause damage if you strike yourself. Step 1. Hit someone else with hammer. Step 2. Act outraged discovering it causes harm without being warned against. Step 3. Sue company to your heart's content. Step 4. Profit. Bonus points if you hit someone you don't like. I know a lot of people say warning labels, but let's be honest. Warning labels have probably never stopped stupid people from doing stupid things. They're just there to protect corporations from getting lawsuits. But the most ridiculous warnings only exist because some idiot actually did that stupid thing. They're there to protect the company, sure, but they wouldn't be necessary if the dumb thing hadn't already happened in an earlier iteration. Flammable tags on underwear. Some of us need that warning label. Licks finger and touches ass. Let's not get on a tangent about the topic of TV ads for prescription medication, but recently, last couple years, they started adding a sentence in the commercials. Do not take Trevexica if you are allergic to Trevexica. What happened to make that a thing that they need to mention now? Why the hell would anyone knowingly continue to put a drug in their body if they knew or realized that they were allergic to it? Answer: people are stupid. I get that it's to protect them legally, but it's mind-blowing to me that it needs to be said even to do that. The part that gets me is that the statement provides no new information. For example, I would say, don't eat Snickers if you are allergic to peanuts. I wouldn't say, don't eat Snickers if you are allergic to Snickers. Some really strange laws, like handling fish suspiciously, can end you up in jail in the UK. I believe it's in Massachusetts, but there is a law that says you are not allowed to keep a mule on the second floor of your home or something along those lines. Wearing this costume does not enable you to fly. Tag on a Superman Halloween costume. Jerry Seinfeld had this joke. I liked his follow-up. I want to meet the person dumb enough to think that this might make them fly, yet smart enough to think to check the instructions. The Darwin Awards. My favorite is the gasoline truck driver. When they get back to the yard, they would fill the tanks with water to evacuate the leftover fumes. It was late at night and he wanted to see how full his tanks were, but he didn't have a flashlight to see into the tank. But he did have a cigarette lighter. You can see where this goes. Several warning markings like, don't put your cat inside your microwave. What kind of cat did you buy that came with a warning label? Right? Mine only says, hand wash only, not dishwasher safe. About half of what a hospital does. Of course, the side that deals with sickness isn't there because we're dumb, but the part that deals with glass bottles being stuck inside anuses is there because we're dumb. I'd argue half of what the emergency room at a hospital does, but not half of what the entire hospital does. A hospital does a lot of things outside of the ER. The belief of a flat earth. This is by far my favorite conspiracy just to laugh at, just cause why? Who would lie about that? What is there to gain from people thinking the earth is actually a globe? Peanut allergy warnings on jars of peanut butter. Jar of peanuts. Ingredients: peanuts. Warning: contains peanuts. Pyramid schemes, spam email, and pool gates. I wouldn't say pyramid schemes exist because people are dumb, they exist because people are greedy. The Emoji Movie. Having watched it, I firmly believe it was the product of Columbia Pictures going through Pixar's trash and finding an initial concept for Inside Out. Let's see. Don't stop on the tracks. Contents are hot. Straw paper can go in your eye. The list goes on and on. Well, I will say this. The biggest talking point on the coffee is hot label is because a woman spilled coffee on herself that wasn't just hot, but closing to boiling. Somewhere between 180 to 190 Fahrenheit, with a boiling point of water being 212 Fahrenheit, and she suffered third-degree burns and was hospitalized for 6 days due to McDonald's negligence. She sued them, which ended up on a settlement. After this, McDonald's put the warnings on their coffee so they couldn't be sued again. And to add insult to injury, put a smear campaign against this woman to completely downplay this incident. I would take a look at Liebeck versus McDonald's restaurants on Wikipedia. Zero tolerance policies. Zero tolerance policies are not about the welfare of the kids. They're about abdicating the administrators from the expectation of good judgment and the accountability that entails. You can't get in trouble for making the wrong decision if there are no decisions. I used to love working on health and safety. It's almost a nature documentary on how little people think before something messes up. Drove me nuts sitting in meetings listening to the endless possibilities of what could happen if someone did stupid thing, so we should make rules so it can't ever happen. Measles. In 2000, measles was nearly eradicated, but then anti-vaxxers brought it back to popularity. Measles were almost eradicated by human intelligence, only to be brought back by human stupidity. Nice. The warning on my dad's old motorcycle saying, "This is a motorcycle and only to be used as such." I used mine as a ram once and it was pretty ineffective. It only left a small bump on the guy's cars, but it totaled me and my bike. Babysitters. If babies weren't so stupid, you wouldn't need one. If loser, unemployed babies would just get off their fat ass and get a job, society would be so much more productive. Warning signs next to large waterfalls, cliffs, any other potentially lethal terrain. Sometimes I can understand. At one of our old vacation spots, there was a cliff that you couldn't see until it was too late. Popular hiking trail. The word ambulance written in reverse on an ambulance for those people that don't realize that the huge vehicle behind them with the flashing lights and siren is in fact an ambulance. Gluten-free on bottled water. Fun fact, many shampoos and body washes contain gluten and will make people, like my mother with celiac, break out. Sadly, these labels are necessary because it's in a ridiculous amount of stuff. The warning label on my scooter. Caution. Object moves when used. Reality TV stars. But the people who produced those shows are genius. TikTok. I swear TikTok is a plot to make people addicted to short bursts of information and reduce their attention span to make them dumb in the long run. That's in addition to being an easy platform to float really bad ideas and bad information to the easily impressionable. It is such a stupid platform. Labels that say, allergy advice contains X, on packets or bottles or whatever, where X is the only thing in there, like contains nuts on a packet of peanuts. Peanuts are legumes and the coconut is a drop. Neither are nuts, botanically speaking. Could be the reason for such labels? I wish there was an AMA from someone who makes these labels. Modern politics. If we were smarter, there would be a better collective decision-making process. But democracy is only as good as the educated system in it. If you have a population of ignorant people, you have a flawed democracy. You know those labels on buckets with an upside-down drowning baby? Yeah, probably had to start using those for a reason. People often don't realize how top-heavy toddlers are. They can be looking into something and topple forward and get stuck, not having the proper strength and leverage to remove themselves from the position. I've not personally seen it happen with a bucket, but I've watched my child get stuck in a laundry basket. It was harmless and amusing. Less so if it had been a bucket filled with liquid. TV ads for water. And prescription medicine when you can't even buy it without your doctor specifically telling you to. People who genuinely believe 5G is bad and that coronavirus is fake. My friend's older brother is all about this. He thinks the radiation from Wi-Fi is going to make him do things, and so he sleeps with a special bedsheet that plugs into the wall. He also believes in Hollow Earth and tried to show me pics of the hole in the top of the Earth, LMFAO. Daylight saving time. Daylight savings time is really just an odd response to rigid working hours. Pugs and bulldogs. And many health issues in farm animals for a related reason. Because of extreme breeding goals, the Holstein breed, one of the most popular dairy breeds in the world, has extremely poor fertility and health. Breeding can be animal abuse. HOAs. HOAs don't exist because people are stupid. They exist because people are selfish. Troom. My sisters watch this channel on the daily, and I don't understand how anyone can without losing brain cells. The lottery. In high school, 12th grade, my calculus professor said, on average, you need to spend 50% of any jackpot to win. Would you be better off just saving that money? In the US, the government takes like 40% anyway. The ability to opt your kids out of vaccines. Let me tweak this a bit. The ability to opt out is good, personal liberty. The choice to opt out is likely dumb, personal responsibility. I only say likely because I don't know everyone's medical status, so I'm not sure everyone can safely be vaccinated. Password strength checks. I'd argue that it's because humans are smart. I think that if people were smart and didn't use passwords like password1, there wouldn't be a need for any type of check. Global warming. I mean, it doesn't exist because humans are dumb. It exists because we didn't know what we were doing in the Industrial Revolution. It thrives because humans are dumb. The Kardashians. Not a fan, but I actually think they are kinda genius for having carved out such large businesses and profiles. They were wealthy, but now they are mega rich, and all because of a sex tape? I don't watch their shows or follow them on social media, and even I know a lot about them, because they are everywhere. Sure, it's annoying, but when you reach that level of exposure and wealth, I don't think they care about anybody calling them sluts or fake or whatever.